New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri. Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central European Time. Come find purpose, nurture growth, and live your passion. And now On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri.
Hello, everyone. So good to be with you in this new year of 2024. Welcome to our program. I'm Reverend Beth Linguri, your host on this program On Purpose, reminding you that you are in this dimension as an individual expression of the divine on purpose to express that divine in all aspects of your life. So in this calendar year of 2024, in this time-space dimension that we find ourselves in as divine expressions, we have an opportunity to stop and reflect. Everything in this new year reminds us of new opportunities, of times to let go of things in the past which didn't serve us, which don't serve us. It's about creating intention for the new year. So I invite you today to join me in reflecting on just what is this new year going to bring me in my vision to live on purpose and to bring each one of you. We are reminded about the power of the word, especially as it is in an intention. Ernest Holmes used the analogy of the seeds to make it real clear how this works. And he said that if you plant tomato seeds, then tomatoes will grow. But if you plant them and expect carrots and lettuce and other things, it doesn't happen. Not because it wasn't meant to happen, but simply because of the law. The law is impersonal. What we plant as seeds in the earth grows in the kind of seed that it is. And so it is with our words. Those words that we plant in our minds, this creative medium of the mind, becomes our reality. Another analogy that I like to use sometimes is this global positioning system or GPS. If you want it to take you to a specific destination, you actually have to put exactly the destination in. And then you simply follow the guidance and it goes along. You surrender to the machine, you do exactly what it says, and you arrive at your destination. But if you don't put that information in, you can go in circles. That's not fun. I've just been doing that recently a couple of times as my system did not work. So in the series On Purpose, we are looking and reflecting on the words of Ernest Holmes in his book, This Thing Called You. And the central idea which guides us is this idea, this basic idea. You, I, each one of us is a spiritual being. You are a spiritual being, having this human experience for the purpose of expressing your divinity. You reflect that divinity back to everyone you meet. So you are here in this physical body on purpose. You are on purpose to express divinity. And it's the only way that divinity can be expressed is through each individual. It's pretty simple. but it's not easy. And I'll repeat the words that I've used before on this broadcast, this idea from Emerson, because it so perfectly expresses what Ohms is talking about in this book, this thing called you. He quotes Emerson when he says, every man and woman, I'll add that bit, is a doorway through which the infinite passes into the finite. The infinite passes through into the finite. Every woman or man is a doorway through which God or the divine or life itself becomes man or woman. It is a doorway through which the universal becomes the individual. So when you live from this place, you are living in heaven on earth. This is where you live on purpose and not by default. Can you visualize this? Can you really sense this idea of being a divine expression? I'm reminded of other words of Ernest Holmes when he says, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. And everyone says, well, how can I be perfect? This body that I'm in is not so perfect. And I'm not so perfect. I make mistakes. So it's an anachronism. I can't be perfect. But yet, in actual fact, it is the divine in you, in me, that is perfect already. We don't have to be perfect. We simply allow and surrender that to that perfection and allow it to express through us. It's not an easy concept because it goes against so much of what we're taught and so much of what our world tells us and so much of what is programmed in us from our past. So today we're going to look at a little bit of the how we move from this place of living in the world and not of the world, but of our divinity. I'm going to invite us to move into a time of reflection. Ernest Holmes writes about meditation. Meditation is a practice in many spiritual traditions, and there are many different practices which are described as meditation. So I'd just like to clarify how he uses the word meditation. And this is a direct quote. Meditation is in a very specific way. It is using the power of the mind to focus on a desired state and increasingly become one with that idea. Using the power of the mind to focus on a desired state and to increasingly become one with that idea. So we create through the power of attention. Ernest Holmes invites us to spend time every day to sit quietly and contemplate our good. So at this moment, I'm inviting you to simply move into a space of contemplating your good. Close your eyes and simply move into your within. Can you find yourself as your eyes are closed? Can you connect with life itself, that life which is flowing through you? If you simply close your eyes, relax your hands gently on your lap, follow the breath, find that self, that within which longs to express. And just listen to the life within. It's wonderful to know that your good is at hand. Your night wanes. Your dawn is breaking. There is a living spirit at the center of your being. Simply acknowledge this living spirit as you breathe out and in. Acknowledge this life itself living within. This is the great secret that you share with life. Life is wherever you are. It evolves around you, even as it flows through you. So simply spend a moment just allowing that life to flow through you, to surround you. Just to become one with that life itself. Keep the doorway of your mind open. Feeling, thinking, communing with this life. Simply know that it fills you with light and with power. With light and with power. There is great joy in knowing that there's no need to search for it. There's no need to struggle. It's already there. All we need to do is acknowledge it. You are always in contact with it. And simply by becoming one with it, all the good transforms itself and moves into your life. It manifests in your life as good. So we acknowledge this light. We acknowledge this power that is within us and flowing through us, as each one. There is a divine pattern at the center of everything. It's at the center of you. It's simply waiting for you to recognize it. This is the God, the divine, the source. This is life itself in you, simply awaiting your acknowledgement of it. So you be with it in these still small moments. Take moments in your life to be in that stillness. It doesn't take long, a few moments. As you awake in the morning, simply acknowledge, it's morning, life flows through me and in me, and I am grateful. This is the great secret, which is you. The only thing that stands between you and the greater good, that is so as close as you are breathing, is the things of thought and nothing else. Today, I'd like to call your attention to chapter 5 in the book, This Thing Called You. And he writes in chapter 5, it's not reality that you must change, but you're simply your mental reaction to it. It's not what's going on outside you, whether it's in your immediate environment or on the news, or as you open your emails, or as you look at what's happening in the world. It's not that. It's your reaction to it. I'll read that statement again. It's not reality that you must change, but your mental reaction to it. So a good practice that I have adopted, and I'll share it with you in case it works for you, is to use the word stop. When I begin to look at the news and begin to see what's happening, and I begin to get and allow all of these emotions to come up, I say stop, pause and reflect. And I use the word stop to remind me, S-T-O-P. And you can think of it in this way. For the S, stay still. For the T, take time to reflect. For the O, open up to your inner voice, your heart space. And then for the P, prepare from that space your response. Send love and compassion to those places where there is conflict, or to those moments where there is distress. Or as you think about your month or the activities and you begin to get a negative reaction to them. Oh, I have to do this, or this is coming up, and begin to get worry and fear. Stop. You can change that. There's a wonderful practice that Mickey Singer has in one of his books, and that is, if you're concerned about something, simply write it down. Write what you're concerned about, write all of your thoughts about it, and then simply go through and change any negative word to what you actually want to happen, to a positive experience, and write it again in that sense. Very powerful practice. It is the subjective state of your thought, that accumulation of the patterns of your life and the generations before you, deep within, that are automatically attracting and repelling into your life. And these patterns are often re-sowing the seeds in the creative medium of mind. And that they keep doing this until you change them. You change them. And this does require some action on your part. Many mystics speak of this, and they call it different names. They call it the law of attraction. What you put in your thoughts are going to attract into your world exactly what you're thinking. Or awakening to your truth. Whatever it is, these secrets lie within, and you can change these patterns. It's not just a process of making affirmations or holding thoughts. This can help. But it is a process of re-education of your whole mental reactions. It's a process of following your intuition back to that pattern, and then accepting it, or rejecting it, or rearranging it, or replacing it with a different pattern. It seems so simple at first. It seems impossible that it can be so straightforward. It is by creating space in your life for these stuck patterns, either through traumatic experiences in your life or in generations before you. All of these energies were necessary at the time for you to survive, for you to move through this, but they also can become a stuck energy. And it is important to allow them to become liquid, to become soft and visible. And when they do, they can dissolve, and you replace them with new thoughts. I have found that an amazingly powerful way to do this is through writing. And this key to living this life of purpose, which each one is created, is taking time to write down what it is that we want to see. This focus of the new year can be an opportunity for each one of us to just make a difference, make a change, a few simple rules and methods that will bring forth and implement together as we plan for this new year. I want to alert you to an opportunity that is coming up in March at the spring equinox. We gather here in Geneva at the Chateau de Bossé, which is the beautiful background here, for an inspired retreat, a retreat in which we focus on our inspiration, our intuition, and at the same time, we write about it. It will be on the spring equinox, easy to remember. That's March 15th through 17th. And on the banner, you can see the website where you can find out more about this activity. For those of you here in Geneva area, it's just a day trip, and you could come for the day on Saturday, but there's also events on Sunday and Friday, and we have a whole time of retreat, which we can move into that silent place within and right from that place. So we can reconnect with our source energy and allow that to be what guides us in our life, in our everyday life. So I invite you to have a look at that website. If you don't have time to write it down now as we have it here, you can always do a Google search and check out Inspired Writing Retreat to Geneva. We have a page on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So you can find this site and find out more about this exciting opportunity. There are lovely rooms at the chateau, so if you're far away, come along, join us there, and stay in the beautiful chateau overlooking the Lake Geneva and the Alps. Give yourself a beautiful gift of a retreat during this time. Again, in the words of Ernest Holmes, it is only on the basis of peace that you can persist with absolute certainty. Peace alone gives poise. There is an intuition within you that already knows that you are one with good and that your destiny is certain. Your purpose is known. You must listen to this intuition, for it is the voice of the divine in you. You are a spiritual being having this human experience to express your divinity and reflect that back to everyone you meet. So I'd like to end this session together by reading a poem by Cleo Wade. It's a beautiful poem from her new book, her beautiful book of poetry, Remember Love. Poetry is a great expression, a way to express emotion and truth in a very simple but powerful and profound way. So whenever I have an opportunity to use it, I share it with you. This is a very short poem. I'll read it twice. It is a profound act of love to choose who you are going to be instead of living in response to who has hurt you or what has happened to you. It is a profound act of love to make your heart your divine responsibility, to challenge yourself to get your heart as kind and fiercely loving as possible. It is a profound act of courage to then share that heart with the world. We are complete for today. Go in peace. Namaste. And so it is.
Thanks for watching. Join us again next Wednesday for more of On Purpose with Reverend Beth Linguri, only on New Thought Media Network. Learn more at www.ntmedia.org.